I actually don't think I've ever really done a podcast before too. I think this is my first
true?
real one. I've never like sat down and done like a 2-hour conversation thing. So
All right, well, get comfy.
All right,
I'm comfy.
Lock in. Uncross those arms. Uncross those arms.
Real loose. Everyone take a deep breath. Young Lean taught us how to do breath work.
Wow.
Erykah Badu taught us how to do breath work.
I would trust Erykah Badu with my life.
We did fire breathing with her.
Oh, wow. Sometimes that makes me more anxious.
Makes me anxious. I didn't want to tell Erykah
They have
that.
like crazy ones in yoga where you're like, and I'm like, I'm hyperventilating now. This sucks.
Time.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Waiting my whole life.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, thank you. That's the attitude.
Welcome to the New York Times Popcast, your bedroom of Versailles of weekly culture chat. I'm John Caramonica. I'm the critic.
I am Joe Coscarelli. I'm the reporter.
I'm Olivia Rodrigo, and I'm on Popcast.
Finally.
Thank God.
You.
Thank God. I love you guys. I love this show.
It's very kind.
Excited.
And as we said to you just a moment ago, truly on our 1.0 mood board, having you here. We're extremely thrilled that you're here. What a special day. Truly.
For me as well. I really appreciate all the work you guys do, and I love all of your opinions and
certainly not all.
I don't
you know, I
hear
love
that
they are true, informed, conscious.
They are thought
opinions.
through. They're thought through.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with all of them.
No, that's
not
the
how
point of it.
criticism works.
Yeah,
It's not how criticism works.
No,
Thank you. Will you tell your friends?
Everything
all of
they
them.
say
Just put it in the
gospel.
group. Just put it in the group chat.
Yeah.
Critics are allowed.
Yeah.
Yes, critics are.
Yeah.
You don't need much introduction, but Olivia Rodrigo, the Grammy-winning artist, singer-songwriter, behind 4 now #1 hits.
Yeah.
Most recently, Drop Dead from her new album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, out June 12th, very soon. Starting in 2021, Olivia burst on the scene with Driver's License, a smash that was the most obvious.
You might have been my first interview for that too.
I remember.
Right. Yeah.
I think that happened. We did Diary of a Song. Wait, so you're second semester, senior year, and you just released your first single?
Yeah, first semester. Yep, not even second. I'm like dying over here.
We knew you were going to have, I think, a long and special career. Before that, Olivia was known for her work on Disney, first on Bizarrevark. Shout out to Bizarrevark.
Shout out Bizarrevark.
Let's go make some videos. Hey, let's go make some videos. Hey.
If you haven't seen it,
Credit where credit's
someday
due.
you'll have kids and maybe
It's
you'll
really
see
having
it.
a resurgence though. Like
that
people
true?
will stop me
Is
on
it
the
taking
street
up?
and they're like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I make music." They're like, "I love Bizarrevark." I'm like,
They're like, that's weird. Are you
Cool.
saying? That's weird.
"Yeah, they
That's
don't, the
amazing.
music stuff comes after for them. They don't care
That's
about
incredible. High School Musical, the series.
that." Also, another
Incredible.
long title.
Incredible.
Long titles here.
Truly an incredible title.
Yes.
It would be insane to think I might actually have a shot at playing Gabriella.
Your first 2 albums, Sour and Guts, mixed pop punk fury with devastating balladry. That's sort of been your magical formula up to this point. You're swerving yet again on this album. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the new work and so much more.
So you are, it's about to get very intense. You're in, the roll-up is rolling.
Yeah.
Like we're coming up to album release. We had the opportunity to go to SNL
Yes.
a couple weeks ago.
Wait, I feel like you should also tell the viewers about how you corrected the script.
Wow.
And that's not
Okay,
what
we're gonna do.
You're ready.
You're ready. You know.
You wanna go
okay.
there?
That was amazing.
Okay, good. So we will tell that story.
Okay.
So we got to watch you host and perform SNL. I know it's been and was a dream to do that. I wonder if you can just talk a little bit about that experience, and then we'll talk about our uncredited assist. Fact check.
writing credit. Yeah. No, it was so much fun. I have been dreaming about hosting and performing on SNL forever. I'm such a huge fan of everything that they do. I think just artistically, it's a real feat that they manage to pull that off every week. And even if like sometimes you're like, oh, that sketch wasn't my favorite, it's still just so astounding that they're
mind-blowing.
able to do something that high quality week after week.
Unreal.
The work that they put in is insane. Getting to like witness that up close was really, really inspiring.
We
Like
were blown away.
it's insane. Like the way that they work, that just they're such a family. They like love each other so much. They get along. They're so devoted to this like like common mission and cause. I think that's why it works. I think if people were like kind of iffy about it, the show would fall apart, but everyone is just so steadfast in their desire to make the best show possible. And it's just really inspiring from an artistic standpoint, like whether or not you're like into comedy or not.
That was my exact experience because I'm not traditionally a huge SNL fan, and I've been there during the week, like with artists doing some reporting, et cetera, but I'd never seen a full show. So we were at the dress rehearsal and we were sitting in the balcony and just watching the behind the scenes of how many people it takes, the sets, the movements. You guys did an amazing stunt where it looked like people were falling down the stairs. The way they did that, I think they posted some behind the scenes on SNL. You very gamely
dove it, literally dove.
Did
literally
the dive. You did your own stunts on SNL. But the thing you were alluding to is that the final skit we saw in the dress rehearsal was you and Veronica in the backseat of an Uber, and the driver
Andrew,
breaks out into
patois.
Into a Jamaican patois rap. And in the early version of the script we saw, they had you referring to what he was doing as reggaeton.
Right.
Yeah.
And John
and immediately,
and I,
like Joe and I are sitting right next to each other, and like immediately we're just like,
so,
and then at the end we're sort of like,
do we tell someone?
Sell someone? Like, do we say something?
We didn't want to see you get flamed on the internet for it. Like,
you guys think
so.
You saved me.
We managed to relay the message that it was probably the word they were looking for was either dance hall or reggae or whatever. Jamaican dance hall. And then when I woke up the next morning, the first thing I got served on Instagram was that skit on social. And I was like, oh no. And then I saw the subtitles and it said,
okay, but you like started aggressively singing a Jamaican dance hall song like really loud.
Hell yeah.
Jamaican dance hall.
You guys saved the day. Awesome.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but
I'm glad you did.
You mentioned that's how the sausage gets made. Just FYI. We're fact checking all music from here on out.
Yes.
That is one of the big tentpole moments of the next few weeks, you being on SNL, and we have been able to hear your album and live with it for a little while. And by the time when this comes out, it's still going to be a little bit before people, but we can talk about it. We have some details. We'll give some gems out.
A little teaser.
So this album to me strikes me as a chronological, structured mini narrative about the rise, high plateau, and then collapse of a relationship. I'm curious, from a writing perspective, are you writing those things in real time as the experiences are happening?
Yeah. For the most part, it is chronological and in the order in which it happened in my life. And it's the first time that's like happened. And I think it's was really interesting for me creatively to like structure it that way. But I've never been a person who's like, I'm going to make a concept record and it's all going to be this and it's going to like be this way and sound this way and look this way. Like I write songs to like process my feelings. So every day when I like come and like I sit at the piano or I get the guitar, or I go into the studio, it's like, what is like burning in me to say right now?
Yeah.
I think it just like all comes from the heart, and I think it's not super like calculated in that way. And so,
so they sort of aggregated in a way, like you were writing songs and then you took a step back and said, it is kind of like boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And I think Dan and I like sort of like after writing breakup songs and stuff, we like had the fun challenge of going back and like actually tweaking some of the love songs that are on the record and making them a little more honest and more sad and creepy. Like the song Purple was originally a love song. And it was
which feels like a big turning point on the album.
Yeah, that's like 6 songs and it's purple, and it's like that's when like the doubt creeps in, and then the Cure, it's like you flip the record and it's the Cure, and that's sort of like the unraveling, as we say, of this narrative. And so I was really happy with the way that it turned out, and sort of after the fact, we've already written like the first like maybe 6 songs of the record, and writing the more like sad sort of decomposed songs on the record, we kind of like post-mortem kind of went in and changed things and sort of made it a whole body of work rather than like little moments.
Is there a specific line or stanza in one of the first songs that you remember being like, okay, I really need to reframe this. I really need to deepen this. Is there something that sticks in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, like the Honeybee lyric, like having Honeybee is one of my favorite songs on the record, and then having it also tying it back into the last song, I think was really nice for me to just sort of made it feel more like, I don't think that it's not a concept album. I think that's doing a disservice to actual concept albums, but I think it's like a capsule of a thing. And so like little things like that, or changing purple, or putting that little honeybee thing kind of towards the end of the process made me feel like, okay, it's really an album now, and it's really telling this like one story.
I would go so far as to call it a concept album.
You think?
The narrative is so tight. Like, what is Good Kid, Mad City if not a song, if not an album with a beginning and an end?
Sure.
And then you come back to the beginning. Like the fact that Drop Dead, the opening track, is like essentially before the first date and leading into the early excitement and butterflies of a relationship and falling in love. And one of the things I really like is there's different slices of what happiness in a relationship look like.
Yeah.
As you say, there's these little moments of doubt that start to creep in. When did you realize that you had an ending? Because if you're writing this in real time, presumably you were as, floating on air as you were in some of these early tracks. Like, where did you think the album could end if you stayed in that zone?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think I always knew that I didn't want it to be like, even Stupid Song to me, I was really inspired by this book, Simple Passion by Annie Ernaux. It's like this, she's having this affair with this person and she's not quite happy. She's kind of just going insane. Like everything she does, she's reminded of this person. The longing like overcomes her. And I was really inspired by just all of the ways in which love makes you insane and miserable. You know what I mean? I think that there's a lot more to mine there than just like, yay, like, oh my God, he's so hot, he loves me, type of thing.
Right.
And so I was always kind of curious about trying to like mine these more depressing feelings out of these love songs. And I think initially I thought that was what the record was going to be, just all love songs, but trying to inject some sadness into them. And then obviously sadness in a real kind of more whole way crept its way into the end. I guess when I started making it, I didn't know how it was going to end. And I think that's how I always start all the records. But yeah.
Totally. And you talk about the destabilizing nature of love. And there's a song like Maggots for Brains, which you mentioned previously that multiple songs on this album are inspired by Miranda and Steve from Sex and the City. And I knew that going in before I heard it. And that was one of the songs where I'm like, this is a very Miranda song. This idea that she's like, my brain is mush, basically. Yeah. Is that a Miranda sentiment?
Yeah, well, it's from the scene where Miranda is getting back together with Steve and she's like,
whenever something funny happens, I always want to tell you about it.
Anytime something funny happens, I want to tell you. And it's one of the lyrics in the second verse. But yeah, that's one of my favorite songs on the record. I really love it. I think when we made that one, like sonically, I was like, oh yeah, like this feels right, and this feels like the point in time that I'm at. I think I kind of knew, and Dan and I, who I made the record with, like I think I like love rock music, and I have such a reverence for rock music, and it's all that I like really listen to. But I think going into it, I felt like a little. Like it didn't feel exciting to me or something. Like rock in the traditional sense of like power chords, like distortion, blah, blah, blah.
That's not here on this album.
That's not here on this album. But I think the song like that feels like alternative to me without being like, I love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett, which is one of my favorite songs. Love that song. But like, it was in a more subtle way. And that was more exciting to me than writing like some like really banger thing, which maybe I love those songs. Maybe I'll do that later. But I think like, making that song was like, okay, this is I kind of like figured out what I like wanted the sound to be a little bit, or like what was going to be different about this record.
It's interesting to hear you talk about that style of rock not being as much of a draw as it was in the prior two albums, because obviously there are certain moments on this album that are really living in like the 82 to 85 world. You're sort of getting the New Romantics, you're getting The Cure, you're getting maybe little Talking Heads. I wrote Devo down at one point.
Some New Order.
New Order. But what does that sound and style signal to you that the pop punk and the sort of chords that you've been playing with previously don't signal.
Yeah, it just felt more exciting. There was something about the restraint of it that felt nice, or I was just really obsessed with that type of music too while I was making it. Like I did Glastonbury with Robert Smith, which was insane. I'd always been a fan of The Cure, but like since meeting him and like getting to hang out with him, I like kind of went back and listened to all those like new wave bands like that. And I was living in England at the time, so obviously you get a lot of like English band inspo. And for me, in songwriting, the sentiment always comes first. And so I knew that I wanted to write songs about how it felt to be in love. And love feels like that to me. It kind of feels like that vibe, like that just the emotional quality of it. I can't describe it. It's just like that's how it felt. It didn't feel like you know what I mean?
You also used, I think, a clever trick where you connect the new wave of the 80s with music influenced by new wave. I think like there's some songs on here that sound like La Tigra, you know, instead of Bikini Kill, you know, both Kathleen Hanna bands, but different sides of that.
Big Olivia fan, Kathleen Hanna.
Of course. You know.
Shout out Kathleen Hanna.
I had a thought when listening to My Way that there's like some No Doubt in there.
Yeah,
I know you're a big Return of Saturn
I love
girl.
No Doubt.
And you mentioned The Cure, who spanned both of those eras, who continued making music through that. And they are a through line through the album. You allude to Just Like Heaven and Drop Dead, the first song. Then there's a song called The Cure, which will be the next song that people hear from the album. That comes after Purple in the track list. And that's the moment where you say, you're punning obviously on the band title in some ways, but you say, love's not fixing me. It's not the be all and the end all. Can you talk a little bit about the writing of The Cure and what that song means to the album's story?
Yeah. I think that song is the thesis statement of the album. You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. I remember making that song and feeling so excited, like, okay, I know what I'm like trying to say with this thing. I love that song so much. It makes me like emotional to listen to it now.
All the pretty girls in the foreground of my mind.
I don't know how it started. I was on my couch and I played the chords and wrote the verse lyrics and thought that was really interesting and brought it to Dan and we finished it together. And it just means so much to me. I think that was a realization that I had and you can only have when you're like in like a real like big girl relationship. I think that for so long when I was younger, I was always like reaching for something. I was like, oh, well, if I have this, then I'll be happier. If I have this thing even in my career, I'll be happier. If I like have this guy and he loves me the way I always thought he would love me, like I'll feel better about myself. And slowly throughout the course of my life and this relationship that I'm talking about, I kind of just realized that the issues that you have aren't just going to be solved by some other person. Like something can distract you, but it and also
they're your issues.
Yeah, they're your issues.
They're your issues. Yeah.
I also even think that falling in love actually makes those issues even clearer to you. I think that's why it's so important. Like some of my friends are like, well, I'm not going to marry them. Like, why would I, be in this relationship with them? I'm like, that it's like the way that you know yourself the most in this world. Like you could, you know yourself so deeply and so intimately by like falling for people and being raw and gross and like making mistakes. And I think that that's such a thing that's unique to being in a romantic relationship. And so I think I was also figuring that out. I think I was in a romantic relationship that was actually real and intimate for the first time and being like, whoa, this is holding a mirror to me and I'm seeing shit that I don't like about myself.
Yeah,
and
of course.
That was a tough realization. And I think that that's embedded in The Cure too. And I really love the song. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I think it's
also in the context of the album, where it sits, just after the middle, but it's long. You're lingering on it. It's like you're telegraphing something just simply by saying you're gonna have to sit with this for 5 or 6 minutes. Like it's like that's you're coding the meaning in the lyrics, but you're also coding it in the structure. It feels like
yeah. I think that's sort of like the apex of the album too. Like I think in all the love songs leading up to it, like there's a hint of like maybe this or dissatisfaction or like, oh, I really miss them and that's why I'm sad or blah blah blah. And I think when it gets to The Cure, it's like the most honest part where like all the artifice is stripped away. And it's I love a song, obviously. I mean, I love writing like a power ballad that like really builds, but like when I finish listening to it, it feels like it's some sort of like catharsis or like some sort of acceptance of like that this is your fate.
How do you know as a songwriter when something is worth writing a song about? And especially, I mean, look, I haven't been in my 20s for at least a few years, 4 or 5 years. But I vividly remember the intensity of feeling. I remember the dynamism of being really up and then really down and then going back to how you felt a week earlier and kind of like the instability of that. And if you're experiencing feelings quite intensely and you have a creative outlet for it, what takes it from something that's in here to like, damn, I gotta get this out? Is there a specific intensity of feeling? Is it a detail? How do you know?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I think you really, every time is different. I'm a big like quantity over quality songwriter. I write all the time about lots of things. And then sometimes you stumble upon something that's good. I really don't know. There's not like I'm never like, oh, I have an idea and it's going to be an awesome idea. You kind of just have to like,
you're not stingy about it.
No, I'm not stingy about it. I have some friends who are the opposite and who like write 5 songs a year and they're the best 5 songs you've ever heard. I write like 250 songs that are the worst, and then I write like 3 songs that I love. But I just love the process of writing. I love being alone and like playing my guitar or like writing things down. It's like so much fun for me. I think I know if I've like stumbled upon something good, if I really want to listen to it like a week after I write it. Or if it makes me feel like, oh yeah, that is how I was feeling, and that's a really clear, concise way of saying it. But I don't know. It's different every time.
And you're working it out in the room as well. You have your step in the process, then you bring it in with Dan, and then sort of, I'm sure there's things that don't make it past that.
Like meetings change so much. Like, even like you guys listening to the album, like I listened to some of the mixes before we sent it to you guys, and it's like, even like a month after making it, it just feels so different in your body. Like you just have totally different associations with it. And I don't know, there's no science behind it. I'm still figuring it out. I don't know.
You mentioned the ugly sides of even being in love. And one of them that you touch on this album in what I think is an interesting way is jealousy and being territorial, which is something that has been present in your earlier music, but not, as you say, from the vantage of a big girl relationship. This song, My Way, that I mentioned earlier, strays a little from the central relationship narrative. And I thought you make a pretty direct choice to target it at another woman in the tradition of great songs like Jolene or Misery Business or Better Than Revenge. And given your standing among young women and how important of a songwriter you are to your audience, did that feel like a risk to write a song that pointed where you call yourself a petty bitch?
Yeah. You know what? I haven't given it so much thought. I think I was just really in the heat of the moment writing it. And that's how it is. And sometimes you're like, I really need to get this out, and I'm fucking pissed. And it maybe isn't the most evolved thing ever to say, but I really loved the song and I loved the way it turned out. And I love the sonics. I was going for like some Gwen Stefani vibes in there.
I caught it.
But yeah, I really love that song. It's the album isn't very angry at all. And I think that's the one angry touchstone. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. I stand by it.
Is it okay if you're the villain? Is that okay?
Yeah, whatever. I
don't know. No, being serious, because like I think
it's fun to play that character.
It is fun to play that character, but I also think that certain songwriters and certain huge pop stars have had anxiety over the years of like, I'm known to be one style of person, but I am a complex person. I have these different sets of feelings, but sometimes they won't put it in songs. But there were like probably like 2 moments on this album where I was like, I think she might be okay with being the villain. Like I wonder, and I wonder if you think of it in those terms.
I don't know. This sounds like a cop-out, but I just like know who I am as a person really well, and I know my intentions and things, and I know why I write songs, and I know that I'm like a nice person, and like I like.
I'm not suggesting you're not a nice person.
I'm not, but I think like that type of criticism only really hurts when there's like something in it that I like think is like a little bit true. Like if someone were to like criticize something that I was already doubting, I'd be like, God, like that's the stuff that gets to me. But I don't know. I also think that pop music in a really beautiful way, everyone is projecting their own experiences onto you. Like that's the type of songwriting that 100%. I do. And I love that type of songwriting. That's why I got into it. Like so many heroes that like do that type of songwriting. And so I don't take it so personally. When I listen to my favorite pop songs, I'm thinking about my experiences and like me in that pop song, like, and how I felt with like my ex-boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not really thinking about that person and like the exact specifics that they're talking about. And
people can relate to feeling angry and pissed and jealous and territorial and whatever it is. It's like that is as valid of a feeling as what would traditionally.
And I think the narrative will
yeah.
reveal itself over time. I think like whatever I think that's out of my control and none of my business in a way.
Fair enough. Yeah. Since driver's license, one of the other things you've been praised for is your ability to drop a well-placed curse word, especially an F-bomb. Vampire also has a great one in its chorus. It feels like you're a little bit more sparing with it this time around. I mentioned bitch. I think I counted 2 other F-bombs. There's a goddamn in there.
Yeah.
But I thought you really saved the most impactful one for what to me is like the defining line of the album and sort of the thesis statement outside of The Cure.
They say modern
love's a cruel endeavor.
To that I say, fuck it, whatever.
Was that intentional, the cutting back, so as not to consider it a crutch, to really save it for those gut punch moments?
Honestly, no. I remember Dan and I the other day were like doing like clean versions of all the songs, and we're like, damn, this would take us 2 days back when we were doing Sour, and this took us an hour. But no, I think I'm just feeling less angsty these days. Okay. I don't know what it is. I think maybe I swore more as a teenager, as we all do, maybe.
I curse way too much, which I've only realized now that I have a 2-year-old who repeats what I say. Oh my God. And now I'm like, I really need to cut
it's
back.
It's tough. Dan, my producer, has a 2-year-old too, and we hang out with her obviously a lot in the studio. And she goes up to her dad the other day and she's like, Daddy, why does Olivia say fuck so much? And I was like,
see, this is what I'm trying to avoid.
I was like, she's got me by name. She's really funky. The other day also we were in the car and we like picked her up from school or whatever, and I was singing along to the song on the radio and she's like starts like crying. She's like, Daddy, I hate it when Olivia sings. And I was like, oh no. I gotta reconsider a lot right now.
Probably because she can associate it with Daddy going to work.
Yeah, that's true.
No. Wow.
That's true.
Wow.
That's
grim,
true.
kind of.
Well, like it's
her psychiatrist is going to unpack that one.
Literally, that's 5 years of therapy down the line for that. Yeah. Like, I can't listen to Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's really, really funny.
Oh, that's really wow. The tension on this album in the arc is about trusting another person and also trusting yourself. There are so many moments on your last album where I feel like it's you singing about how vast the world has become and how challenging that was to navigate. And how do you identify in the real world, not in art, but in the real world, how a person is trustworthy, or is a person trustworthy? Like, what are the things that are your either triggers or touchstones, and how have those things changed over the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
How do you know if someone's trustworthy?
God, that's such a hard question. I don't know if I have like a profound answer for that.
That's all right. This is, look, the podcast
we'll
is
work it out together.
Yeah, podcast is at least 10% therapy.
Yeah, I know. I feel that. I don't know. Well, you know my biggest red flag? This is not profound at all, but like
it's all right.
When I hang out with someone and
Daddy
they're like,
gang.
Daddy gang, Gluck 3000. No. Whenever I meet someone and they're like, yeah, like a few of my friends, they just ghosted me. I don't know what happened. I'm like, calls coming from inside the house. Like that's just
a few. It's like one, maybe it's the other person.
Like okay, something. But I don't even know. Like
that's a real spill. That's a real spill.
Like having like intense falling outs with your friends, like I've never really had that in my life. I think maybe once or twice, but like when people that's a repeated occurrence, I'm like, interesting. I think friendships are like the biggest litmus test for whether or not I trust someone. I think like someone being able to hold down a long-term beautiful friendship is like the best thing that you could do. That's like you have emotional depth. You could care about other people.
And other people trust you.
And other people trust you,
which is huge. Yeah.
I think friendship is a big indicator. But I don't know. I'm still figuring out. I'm sure I'll get betrayed more in my life. Who knows?
I think vampires are still figuring it out. Of course. Vampire is a really good example of trying to figure that out in real time and maybe being fooled by someone who you thought was interested in you, but then was really after your fame or your notoriety or trying to get something from you.
Sucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a
goddamn vampire.
I think that when I listen to that album, it's like so interesting. When you're in it, you like can't tell what it is. But when I listen to it like these days, like I was like rehearsing for a show the other day and like listened to all the songs back. It's just like really is like a 19-year-old disillusionment with the world and just feeling like so confused. And I feel like I'm definitely less disillusioned these days. But like looking back, it was like betrayal and like finding your footing. And I think I remember going into the album being like, I don't want to write about like being newly famous because that sucks. And like, I hate when people do that. And I think that there was hopefully like it was in there like a little tactfully sprinkled in, but I think that that was a huge part of my experience. But I don't think that it's unlike any other 19-year-old going to college. You're just like trusting people. You're so open. You're around all these people that you've never been around. And you're like making all these mistakes and like figuring shit out in real time.
How do you look back on Guts, not only artistically, but as a moment in your career? Because you talk about this pressure that comes with a sophomore album.
Yeah.
You know, people invoke the sophomore slump a lot in terms of, I think exactly what you're saying, where it's like your whole life goes into your first album. Then between your first and your second album, if the first one does really well, maybe the only thing you have to write about is sort of what it's like to become newly famous. And is that enough, etc. That album was successful on its own terms, of course, but I wonder how you look back on how it was received and how it performed and how that influenced what you did on your third album, because I was really struck by the fact that this album doesn't feel like you're searching for smash hits necessarily. It felt like you wanted to make an album, a capital A album with a beginning, middle, and end.
Thank you.
And I wonder if any of that came from either how Guts went or didn't go for you.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I mean, I think it was hard. I mean, looking back, I have so much compassion for myself. Like, Sour, that was crazy. What happened with Sour was crazy. And at the time, I didn't realize how crazy it was. Like, obviously, I was like, wow, I'm so happy, I'm grateful. Yeah, but I didn't realize that like is insane. And I was 17 when it like all happened. It's so wild. And like if I were to like be an outsider and like watch that happen to a 17-year-old, I'll be like, oh my God, like so I think I didn't realize it at the time. But so I have like a lot of compassion for myself, even after the aftermath of Sour. Like that was so much pressure. Like how that it was so insane. And just like people on the internet and like all this crazy stuff. And when you're 19, you don't know who you are in general. You don't know who your real friends are. You don't know who you want to date. You don't know what like you really want to be doing with your life in a real concrete sense. And so it's just, it was a lot. And looking back, I'm so proud of that record. I think putting it out, I felt a little like, oh God, it's like, I'm never going to make anything like as big and as good as Sour and blah, blah, blah. But like looking back, I'm so proud of so many of those songs. Like I think like All American Bitch is like my favorite song I've ever written. And I think like Bad Idea, I remember like thinking Bad Idea right at the time. I was like, oh, it's too weird. Like, and I'm like, I love that song so much now. And yeah, it's just having a little space totally changes your perspective on it. But yeah, I'm really proud of both of those records. Even stuff where I'm like, oh God, that song could have like, I could have lived without that song. It just, you know, I don't think I'll ever regret like writing honestly about where I am in my life, and I'll always have like compassion and love for.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so you hear them both as art, but also as documents of like the intensity of the experiences.
For sure.
This album feels very settled to me. Like obviously you're going through an emotional arc, but you have clarity about that emotional arc. It's not, you're not zigzagging. You're kind of like, I think I see what's happening here.
Even if what I'm seeing is bad and ugly.
Yeah. Even if it was tough, but it's like, I see what's going on here. And does that track with how you live off the album? Like, is that when you're talking to your friends, do you feel like much more lucid as an assessor of the world?
Yeah.
Like, tell me about that.
God, for sure. But I just think that that's growing up. It's like, it's an interesting thing to grow up with the people who listen to my music. Like, I feel like we're kind of around the same age, like going through the same things, and just like the lucidity that I see things with. But it's not unique to me. Like, none of it is. So like, I think you just collect so many experiences that you kind of know yourself more and know the world more. And I don't know. Every album though, I feel like I'm learning about myself, but I'm also like learning how to write songs every album. I don't think I'll ever feel like, okay, I know how to do this like perfect. I got this. I know exactly what I want this to be. Like every time I sit down to write a song, I feel like I'm learning it for the first time. And I think that that's what keeps it like exciting and fun as a creative person is like, there's never, I have like tips and tricks and I like know all the pop songwriting tricks that you're supposed to do and all that stuff. But I just really feel like I'm like endlessly learning. And that's what I'm so grateful that I get to do this job and just like keep being curious about stuff.
One thing that I really enjoyed about this album, there are two songs that are on opposite ends of the album that both feel really unadorned. So it's like you're approaching both this part on Honeybee, and then I think is it Less on this one? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so there's a aesthetic choice here that's similar, but different sentiments. And I wonder how you think about the pairing of the sentiment of the emotion of the lyric with the production choices. And how do you know when it's time to deliver the restrained thing and when it's time to be like, we're going straight to the new wave or we're going straight to the pop lines.
Dan and I love to like throw shit at the wall. And I think also this record, the feeling of like being like intoxicated with love for someone, it feels very rich and like orchestral and like Honeybee, there's so much in there. There's like a choir and there's a, string section and there's this like beautiful like piano in it. And there's just so much. It's like feels really rich. And cause that's how it felt at the time. You know what I mean? That's what it felt to be in love. I think a song like Less was added obviously later in the album making process. And I think it was us trying to practice a little bit of restraint. Yeah. We were also trying to practice a little bit of restraint with the last song. And we were like, no, it just needs a big bridge.
That cigarette.
I can't do it.
That one is produced. A lot of production.
There's no restraint.
We talked about the new wave influence here. And I wonder on these songs, on the piano ballads, essentially, what were your sonic touchstones for those versus the more upbeat songs?
Yeah. I was talking to, do you guys know Wise Blood?
Yeah, of course.
She's so great. And she sang on SNL with me.
Yeah,
I'm just such a huge fan. And
beautiful harmonies.
Beautiful. Yeah. She has one of the greatest voices. She's angelic, beautiful, wonderful person. But I was talking to her about it and she just turned in a new record. She's like, yeah, it's so funny. I like tried so much different stuff and tried to like explore so much. And you just like always go back to like what you're good at the end of the day sometimes too, which I think that there was just a part of me, I was like, I just want to write a singer-songwriter song that's like classic and that's like sort of my sensibilities sometimes. And I love exploring and doing other stuff, but like that's sort of like 12-year-old Olivia fell in love with songwriting for songs like that. And so I really like that one. I think that was maybe the first song on the album, Honeybee. And it was like one of those ideas just like at home and I like wrote the whole thing on piano and just thought like, wow, like I feel like I really expressed something that was so hard to describe. And in the context of the album, I find it to be actually the saddest song on the album. I find it to actually be devastating, which is really, it's you seem pretty sad for a girl so in love, like to a T. It's this like, it's this love song that's filled with so much hope, but also like a sort of knowing.
You're right, exactly. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the, there's the music playing in the background very softly. And you're like,
exactly.
The crash is on the other side.
But yeah.
It takes me back to even pre-driver's license, your first big song for High School Musical, the musical, the series, All I Want. And that's one of these very yearning, extreme piano ballads. Who songs like that were you playing on the piano when you were 12 and 13 and a kid? Like when you wanted to just belt and yearn and feel.
And Fiona Apple was always my like yearner piano queen. I got really into Tori Amos while I was making Guts because I felt like she was like a piano yearner, but it also felt like edgy and rock.
Yeah,
and
punk
I love her.
On the piano.
Punk on the piano. I was really into the Dresden Dolls too. Like that was punk piano.
Yeah, sure.
There's something that I'll always love about just like a plain old piano song like that I just feel like is from the heart, singer-songwriter type of vibe. Yeah. What is your guys' favorite song on the record? Can I be narcissistic and ask?
Yeah, of course.
How do you say me plus you equals heart? How do you say that? How would you say it?
I don't know. I haven't been talking about it a lot.
We're going to decide right now.
Plus you.
Me plus you. We'll call it me plus you. I think me plus you.
Or is it you plus me? It's you plus me.
You plus me.
See, I don't even know.
I don't even know. All right. So you plus me. We'll call it you plus me.
Equals
greater than 3, heart, something. I don't know.
We're going to workshop this.
The lyric is you plus me forever.
Yeah.
I think it's a masterpiece.
Really?
I really do. I wrote that in my notes. I'm not just saying
God,
it to
yay.
you. It's very Cranberries to me.
Love.
A little Sixpence None the Richer. It's like that jangly 90s. I think it both has that line in the bridge that I mentioned earlier that I love, that I think is the greatest away message on this album. You're a little too young for AIM away messages, but that's where you put the quotes that when you're really
for the Drake quotes.
Feeling something.
If there were Drake quotes,
Yes,
if there were Drake quotes at the time.
That to me, and I just think it has a great build and energy. Yeah, that's far and away my favorite on there. Was that you weren't expecting that?
That's never been anyone's favorite. You're the first person who said that to me. I'm really excited about that.
What are other people's favorite? What's your? Well, I mean, I'll tell you mine, but what's yours?
She said Honeybee.
I love Honeybee. I also love The Cure.
Okay, but I'm sorry. Respond to Joe's
that's
outlier
I'm
choice.
really happy. We almost cut that one from the album.
Come on. Are you actually serious?
Yeah, it was one of the first we made, and you know how you just always like the song that you made. Like, most recently.
Yeah, you just got
that
sick
makes
of
sense.
it.
Yeah,
carve our names into the car seat leather as the owner
Great
of
rhyme.
a very nice car. Do you know how stressful I found that line? And I was like, look, maybe in my 20s.
I've seen someone scratch
in my 20s,
on
but
leather.
in
love them that much,
in
you
my
carve it into leather.
50s, do not touch the car seat leather. Do not do that.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. You like
That's
that one.
wild that you were thinking of even cutting. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's so to me, okay, so Begged,
Yeah.
You Plus Me, Honeybee, and Drop Dead.
Okay.
And Begged.
Wow, this is so funny. You guys give opposite answers than everyone else in my camp. That's really interesting.
What are we hearing behind the scenes? What are the hits? What are the fan favorites?
Everyone loves The Cure the most.
I mean, The Cure is obviously a great song. It's a centerpiece. But but when I was listening to it in the context of the album, I was like, this makes the most sense in the context of the entire album, because it really is connective thread.
It is connective
from
thread.
A to B. But in these micro moments, and also I love a wailing ass,
hell yeah.
I love a wailing, but even the turn of phrase. I mean, I wrote down a bunch of different lyrics, even the turn of phrase on Begged.
Nothing's quite enough when I know that to get it I beg.
Nothing's quite enough when I know that to get it, I begged.
Yeah.
And just the sophistication of that sentiment, the understanding that just because you may have gotten something, it doesn't mean that it was the thing that you thought you were chasing. And the fact that you actually might be you might have invented the salute, you might have invented it out of thin air, and it wasn't actually real because you were sort of forcing it.
Yeah, no, I think
incredibly sophisticated thought process.
Yeah, I think that's a difference also between an album like Sour and this album. When you're in a relationship that's deeper and you're older and it's more nuanced, it's less fuck you for doing this to me. It's I think that song was oh yeah, this happened because I set this up, and you fell short, but I didn't really, you never promised that you were going to do that. And it's it's definitely more nuanced take than I feel like I had the emotional capacity to write about before.
Sure.
And so yeah, that song is really special to me.
It's very, I found it to be very savvy, very emotionally savvy. And I think, obviously as people who cover music extensively and I feel like, you feel like you get to a point where you're I've heard every metaphor, I've heard every detail. And then someone has a turn of phrase and you're oh, I didn't hear that one. So that was a great moment for me.
Thank you.
I'm interested in your development as a lyricist, and how has your lyric writing changed between albums 2 and 3 versus between albums 1 and 2?
I think honestly, the challenge for me was in writing a love song. I think that was a daunting task for me, someone who was very known for
writing breakup
songs and being angry and sad, and people love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there obviously is that weird singer's curse thing where you're do people only like me when I'm sad?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think that was the challenge, is trying to write something about being happy and also making it interesting. And also I think it was just a thing that I wanted to prove to myself that I didn't have to be miserable to write a song that I liked.
Did you used to think that happy songs were less valid than sad songs?
I mean, when I was a teenager, for sure. When you're a teenager, that's the shit that you listen to because you're so depressed. You know what I mean? But I love, as I get older, I think writing a beautiful love song, some of my favorite love songs are fucking devastating.
Right.
Like Love Song by The Cure. Kill me. That's so sad and so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was just me trying to write lyrics in a more mature way about love that weren't so black and white. Like all of these things can exist at once. You can be in love and also feel insecure, and you can be in love and also feel depressed, and you can, break up with someone and still like love them. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's just all of these things can be true at once. And I think obviously as a teenager, you don't have the emotional like capacity to really internalize that. And so obviously it wasn't reflected in the albums, but so I think that was the challenge lyrically.
Do you look forward to the day when you can look back at this album and this time in your life and say, oh, 24-year-olds also maybe don't know that much about themselves or the world? Like, is that exciting to you that eventually even like this, where you do
I'm gonna
feel
be like, I'm so stupid and naive.
No, I mean, like, it's that. Do you think ahead that way? I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just like the way you look at your teenage years now. Like you will, whether it's in your 30s or 40s or later, you'll probably look at your 20s similarly. Like, is that something you look forward to? That self-knowledge?
Hell yeah! I'm so excited about it. It's a really interesting thing to have so much of your emotional whatever chronicled.
It's insane. I can't even imagine.
It's
all
really
I have
weird.
is blogs and tweets and articles.
There's a lot there, though.
But not to the level of detail that you do. And the fact that all of those feelings along the way of yours have meant so much to other people that they will live on long beyond when you stop feeling them.
Yeah. It's really beautiful.
It's a very unique job you have.
It's a very unique thing. I'm very, very lucky. I still to this day don't always understand how I like got so lucky. And that sounds like I think I'm not like trying to demean myself. I think I'm talented and I work hard, but like going to a show and like looking out into the audience and seeing all of these like girls who are like 9 years old, like crying to these songs, and it so deeply touches them and is so clearly like affecting their life in a way that I could have never, ever imagined. It's just it's a really, really wild thing that I feel like really privileged to be able to do. I don't really know how I can't, I'm not like masterminding it. It just is like this beautiful human connection, and I just feel so lucky that I get it in such a potent form in my job, and I just feel very, very grateful, and I hope that I can like keep being a positive thing in girls' lives like that. It's something that I think about a lot.
Speaking of that audience and the platform that you have, I think one thing that separates your generation of pop star, even from the one that immediately precedes it, is like your comfort being explicitly political and using that stage to speak to young, impressionable fans who care about what you say. You know, you memorably spoke out when Roe v. Wade was overturned. You've since come out against ICE. You've spoken about Gaza. Have you received any pushback behind the scenes? Anybody telling you that that's a risk to your business to use that stage and the audience you have to espouse what are, in this day and age, sometimes controversial views?
Honestly, I feel like I'm surrounded with people who are very like-minded, and I really appreciate that. No one has ever been like, don't do that, no. And I always say, like, I really try to stay educated on things. Like, I make a conscious effort to try my very best because I think that's important for everyone. But I don't know everything. I couldn't list a bunch of statistics about things. I'm not like a geopolitical scientist, but I am an artist, and like what I do for my job is like, this is how I feel, and I present it to people. Yeah. And like, I think it would just be disingenuous to be like, I don't feel heartbroken about what's going on in Gaza. You know what I mean? Like that's just like, as an artist, I feel like that's just what you do, and that's my job. But I don't know. I also feel really weird taking like credit, being like, yeah, I'm so like, I always feel like I could be doing more and saying more and stuff like that. So it's I don't know. Like,
was it something like that sort of purity of purpose and desire to speak your truth in a variety of ways, whether it's emotional or social, political? Is that something that comes from your household? Is it something that comes from, did something were you around a bunch of people in your teenage years who really encouraged that in you? Like where if you sort of trace it back to its origin point, where do you think that it came from? Because you've been doing it. This isn't something you arrived at this year. This is something you've been doing for basically the entire time that you've been very famous. And usually that's exactly the stretch of time that people don't do it. So what do you think was happening to you in the years prior to that gave you the sort of sense of self to be able to do that?
Yeah. Honestly, it's going to make me emotional, but my parents are awesome, and my parents never made me feel like stupid for saying something, or never made me feel like I was being too much or too emotional or oversharing. And I think I grew up in a household where like me being outspoken and performing and saying what I believe in and like being ambitious was like just so supported. And I think I have the most wonderful parents in the world. I was a child actor, which is really crazy because my parents are like the least stage parenty parents you've ever met in your whole life. But it just like bred, I think, a sense of like ambition in me and like wanting to express myself and like do things and hopefully be a positive like influence on something or someone. I don't know. But I don't know. I think I owe that to them. They really always made me feel like I could do anything or say what was on my mind without, feeling ashamed.
And so there is in your mind like a moral component to being an artist. If you're going to be a person who has a voice, who has sway, who has influence, you think that some degree of responsibility kind of comes with that.
Yeah, I think it's just a job. I don't even know if I would say like it's your responsibility to like step up, but I just think it's like it's the same way that I talk about how I'm sad about a breakup on a song. It's like the same. It's the same thing. It's the same emotion. It's just like maybe expressed in a different medium.
Most recently, there was some internet detective work, as there always is, around you. People claiming that you liked to post about protesting the Met Gala. Did you not attend for moral and political reasons, or is that an overread?
Oh gosh, I'm not really a fashion girl. Really, I'm not a fashion girl.
Can I just say candidly, many people who attend the Met Gala are not fashion people, and you know who you are, and I know who you are.
Yeah.
Go on.
Gosh, how do I choose my words wisely? I think this is my third album. I think that I don't feel like I need to do things that don't like bring me joy or inspire me or fuel me or feel aligned with my like values or something like that. Like it's not like as fun or exciting anymore. Like what's fun or exciting is like talking to you guys or making a song that I really love or like making a music video that I think is cool.
Right. You can say no. You're at the point in your career where you can say no to things that
you can be a little more discerning, and I think that that's cool. And
and not a setback. Like it's because I know in the first waves of fame, you're just like, I want to say yes to everything. Like,
it may never come again.
Yeah, like literally, like I knew there were doors behind the doors I didn't even know were doors that I could open. But now that you've seen the doors, there's no like plenty of doors.
Yeah, I mean, and it's sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's exciting, but sometimes I don't know. I feel like what's really fun and cool is like making stuff that I like and hanging out with my friends who really know me. I don't know. It's not super complicated, I suppose.
Yeah. Speaking of internet detective work, there's a lot of sort of public speculation about your relationship with Taylor.
Ongoing speculation that the Disney alum and the Eras Tour performer are not on friendly terms.
Taylor was retroactively credited on one of Olivia's biggest hits, Deja Vu, due to an apparent interpolation of Taylor's song Cruel Summer.
You're at a Paul McCartney concert in Los Angeles, and you guys are walking out at the same time, and then there's people on the internet being like, are they facing each other? Are they facing away? I wonder how stuff like that strikes you, given that I imagine you know how you feel and you know the state of play. How do you view that layer of scrutiny?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really like read too far into it. I think it like comes to the territory and it's par for the course. And I think if I dove into every internet detective sleuth that like got things right or wrong about my life or any of my relationship, I think I just go crazy. Like there's just not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
I think maybe it started at such a high level for you around driver's license that anything after that,
for sure,
you were like, you went through it. You went through people trying to figure out who is this song about and why. And was that nice to get that out of the way early on? Maybe it wasn't nice to go through, but
I do think so. I think it made me feel detached from it. I had to detach from it in order to like literally like be okay. It was just such a crazy experience for like everyone involved. And I think I just had to learn to detach. And I think that that's something that I hopefully am good at these days, still trying to like detach from people who like don't know every little detail of my life. I think you just have to, otherwise you just go kind of crazy.
I also think there can be value in someone like you setting the record straight or saying what you really feel about something when people are trying to guess how you feel. You know, one of the other things you've been a lightning rod over, bringing back a conversation from 25 more years ago is like the idea of the baby doll dress and what it means to Riot Girl and what it means to dress subversively, or other people who say, no, it's infantilizing or it's played out as a symbol.
That's making me so upset. Not even for me. Like, I don't care. People could say whatever they want.
What does it mean to you? What does what's
really like
to you?
disturbing is I feel like I have worn outfits that are like maybe revealing on stage. Like I've been on stage in like a sparkly bra and like little shorts and like, which is my right. That's fun. I felt cool and comfortable in that. And like that wasn't inappropriate, but me like fully covered up in a dress that people deemed to be like childlike was inappropriate. And I just think it just like shows how we just like really normalize pedophilia in our culture. And also it's just this like rhetoric that we're fed as girls since we're so little, which is like, don't wear that because then a man is going to sexualize your body and it's your fault. Like, it's so weird. And I didn't think that I looked sexy in that at all. I was like, this is so cool. I feel like I look like Kathleen Hanna or like Courtney Love, all these people who are my heroes. And I felt cool and comfortable in it. And like, I just think if we start dressing in a way that's like, oh, I don't want some fucking freak to think that I like am sexy like a baby or like some crazy thing like that. Like I just think it's like losing the plot a little bit. Yeah, I'm just very protective of like younger women and girls, and I don't ever want them to be like fed that rhetoric, I guess.
And also protect their right as they grow up to do
dress
whatever it is, whatever it ends up being.
It's like a weird cult. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be responsible for some guy sexualizing you in a way that was never your intention.
One thing that I was curious about listening to this album, you talked about girls in your audience seeing 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds cry. What do you want people to actually take away from the album? Are you telling them a story about a romantic relationship? Are you telling them a story about emotional development? Are you just making songs you hope people will sing along to? What's the thing? Like, obviously, the finished product is a collection of songs, but there's more. What do you want those girls to listen to on the day it comes out to listen to? What do you want them to feel and think?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I want them to like kind of be along for the ride in the story, because it is a story. It's like with a beginning, a middle, and an end. I think like the goal for any piece of work for me would be like to provide some sense of like emotional catharsis. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Or some sort of like understanding, or I don't know. I just feel like growing up, if I heard a song that spoke to me and I was like, oh yeah, that's how I feel, and it helps me better understand myself and the way I feel around, I don't know, insert issue here. You know, I think that's the dream, and I would love it if that was somebody's takeaway. Yeah. Do
you feel like you're I assume you have fan interactions that are more one-on-one, not simply like in an arena or in a stadium? What do you hear in those conversations? Like the sort of micro moments? Like, what are you hearing from those girls?
Yeah, it's so sweet. I mean, especially like the young girls.
Yeah, that's sort of what I mean.
I love that. And I think like sometimes, I don't know, people have been like, oh, don't you want to like lean into your older audience or something? I'm like, that's so cool that like an 8-year-old girl finds like my song to be moving. Like, that is like the most special thing ever. Like, I remember being 8 years old and listening to music, and it just meant so much to me. And the fact that I could like maybe be a semblance of that for someone is so exciting. And I don't know, I just think that like people, like young people especially, are just so emotional. Like, I love like hearing stories from like girls who like have never held a boy's hand, and they're like, Traitor is my favorite song. Like, my friend at school changed friend groups and it like devastated me. And it's like, that is their whole, like, it like turns their whole life on its head. And it's like so cool to like watch them process all those feelings. And also in an environment like a concert where it feels like this communal processing of emotions. I watched this documentary the other day called it's called like Spirits in the Forest. Have you guys watched it? It's about Depeche Mode.
Oh, wow.
It's about Depeche Mode, but it's not a concert film about, it's like doesn't have anything really to do with the members of Depeche Mode. It's like these 5 people who are huge Depeche Mode fans, and it follows their life leading up to like the last Depeche Mode concert in like Berlin or something.
Oh, wow.
Gotta check that out. Like,
good idea.
It's so
good
beautiful.
Concept.
And it's just about like how going to a concert is not even about like the lighting or like what someone's wearing couldn't matter. It's like these people and the stories that they bring to this concert. Like one of the women who the documentary talked about, she like hit her head or something and she woke up and she didn't remember anything about her life, didn't remember where she was, didn't remember her name, didn't remember her husband's name, but she remembered every single Depeche Mode lyric.
And when I woke up, I didn't remember anything of my former life except one thing, which is Depeche Mode.
Like, how incredible is that?
Sounds like a Daily Mail story.
No, but it's just like
A good one.
Yeah, no, they're all good.
But then,
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
You guys should watch it. But
No, we
it's
will.
just like stuff like that. It's like, it's just so cool that I get to play a show or do something and all these people bring their own experiences of my songs to this show and we all share it together. Like it kind of doesn't, like, I feel like a concert, it's like 75% of what makes a concert great is the audience. Maybe even more. Maybe it's like 80%. Sure. It's like, that's the number one musical instrument or like cool thing. Like that does all of the talking for you.
And you become this bard of girlhood, and you talk about the influence of Sofia Coppola on what you've done, and you work a lot with Petra Collins, and that's been a subject and a muse for her as well. And you mentioned this peanut gallery idea of like, oh, don't you want to speak to your older audience? You know, you look at what Sofia Coppola has done, and she did the Virgin Suicides decades ago, and she's still telling that story in Priscilla from a different angle. Do you feel like that's ever a subject that you will have to let go of and move on from as you age and mature, or do you think it could remain a forever theme for you?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't like come into my album being like, this is girlhood. Like, I think I just try to like be like, this is where I'm at right now. I think that just maybe is girlhood because I feel like a girl. But I'm 23, so I guess I'm a woman now. But you know, I don't know. I just think there's something beautiful about like this shared experience that we all have, and even like something like Driver's License was a really special experience for me on so many levels. But that song meant so much to me because it was about my experience, but also it just like united other people in their own experience of like a first heartbreak or something like that.
Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me.
I think whatever experience people, if it's girlhood, if it's something else, like if whatever meaning they attach to the song, I would be happy with.
There's one line that jumped out at me on this album because I think on earlier songs and earlier albums, something that comes up here and there is like you encounter someone, you're encountering a guy, and he's delivering you a line or a bit, and then you have this awakening that like he's delivered the line or the bit previously, right? And then that's that moment of like, wait a minute, like that's practice, that's rehearsed. But then there's a line on this album where you say, all my ex-boyfriends have heard these lines.
You call yourself out.
And I was like, right, but I was like, but to pick up on Joe's question about sort of girlhood as a topic and maturity and how songwriting evolves, I heard that line and I was like, oh, like this feels like just the tiniest suggestion of leaving some of that other energy behind and saying like, I do it too. Am I right to pick up on that as like a theme in that song and also maybe broadly speaking on this album?
Yeah, it's like what we were saying before. I think like the album hopefully is my most nuanced approach at a relationship. And like it's, you know, a real relationship where two people like know each other and love each other deeply isn't like, well, you were mean to me that one time. There's just so much ebb and flow. You're just like learning about yourself and like your shortcomings and like the ways in which you have failed or have like, you know, or sabotaging certain aspects of the relationship. That I think hopefully that there are moments in the record where I kind of acknowledge my own part and maybe some like negative parts of the relationship. I don't know.
Of course. No one's
talking about holding up that mirror.
No one's innocent.
Love holding up that mirror to yourself, being comfortable playing something like a villain or calling yourself out for it. Also very Sex and the City. In prepping for this, it got us.
We did it.
Did you guys watch Sex and the City for?
Well, no, but
I've watched it countless amount of times, but it did cause us in a meeting to go around and do who we were.
Okay, wait, tell me who you guys are.
You want to guess?
I'm
Wait,
a little
is it
scared.
like
to
one
have
of the girls?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
We kept this to the core.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we need to
'cause
do
you can
men
go-
later.
I've heard people be like, I'm Magda. I'm like, girl, get out of
Yeah,
here.
that's
Like,
like-
pick one
But
of
we
them.
did
What level game are we playing here?
a main and a rising.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I
Rising.
think you're a Charlotte main
Wow.
and the Carrie
You think I'm a
Rising.
little uptight?
Wow, damn, son.
That's
What are you?
interesting. John, I think accurately, this is actually a twist. Said that I'm a Miranda with a dash of
Samantha.
with a dash of Samantha.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
John is actually the
Wait,
kid.
let her guess.
Oh,
Let her
God,
guess.
I don't know.
Let her guess. It's okay. You can get it wrong. It's totally fine.
You don't know.
No,
Yeah, like that.
there's no wrong answer except all the wrong answers.
I know.
Can't
I
believe
know.
you called me
I'm
a
not gonna-
Charlotte.
Sick. Sick. I love it. I love to see it.
Oh my God.
I know. You're really on the spot. This is
No
the hardest
pressure.
part of the
No pressure.
conversation.
I'm gonna say Carrie with a dash of Samantha.
Very close.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a Carrie with Charlotte.
Okay.
Which is that not what you identify as?
Yeah. No, I think I'm a Charlotte with
with
Carrie.
Carrie. Charlotte first.
yeah,
then
yeah.
you're
You guys
like,
are-
okay.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was instructive because sometimes the answer that I might arrive at myself, maybe it's a little bombastic, but they arrived at it for me.
I mean,
and
John's
that felt
obviously a Carrie. Like, John is obviously a
Love.
Carrie.
good. Derogatory?
No,
Like, what is that?
With all the
depends-
with
it depends
all
on
the
what episode.
complications, with all the complications that entails.
Unbelievable.
With all the complications. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Fine.
Should we hit a couple questions in our lightning round?
Whatever, man.
Love.
Whatever.
I love this.
Man.
That's the best part. It's groundbreaking journalism. I love
It's
it.
important also that
No, it is.
you have to build lore. Also,
Totally.
we're building lore.
I have a
Totally.
custom Sex and the City shirt that I meant to wear today that I did not. It's a one of one made for me
next
by a
time.
very dear friend, and I'm very sad I forgot to wear it today.
I love that. I love that stuff.
my-
I have
my-
a few like you know how like cast and crew gets like a
Yes.
thing at the wrap. I have a few Sex and the City wrap stuff. I don't know how I got it.
Like from
Oh,
eBay?
very
like
cool.
a gift, from eBay. Maybe it's
Incredible.
fake. I don't know.
No, I'm sure
I
it's
still
not
wear it
fake.
with
Yeah.
pride.
All right, so 52 cards in the Popcast deck.
Oh, wow.
Each one corresponds to a pre-written question.
Okay.
Some are deep, some are shallow, and we'll
magic.
see where the fate takes you.
All right. This is so fun. Thanks for having me, you guys.
No, this is we're
A
having
dream.
a blast.
What do you got?
Okay, I got a 2 of diamonds.
2 of
Or
diamonds.
2 of sparkles, as I say.
Nice.
Okay. 2 of sparkles?
Yeah.
Okay, again, we continue to learn that people's relationship to playing cards is beyond
complicated.
I didn't even know you could have unusual relationships
You guys
to playing
know
cards.
I have the most unusual. I love playing cards so much.
What?
I travel with 4 playing cards on me at all times because
4
I have
decks?
a game. Yeah, 4 decks.
What do you play?
My manager's got me a Bottega carrying case for my.
Just for your cards?
It's like so bougie because I don't go
we
anywhere
gotta
without
get
my
you a
cards.
podcast.
Yeah,
deck.
we're gonna get you
I
a
would love that.
we're gonna mail you a podcast.
I would love
deck.
that.
We're gonna mail you a
Wait,
podcast. deck.
what games do you play?
I play this game called Cambio that's like, I think called golf in other places.
Okay.
And then this game called Nerds that I really like. That's
Wow.
like multiple player solitaire.
You're like deep cutting card games.
Yeah, it's no go fish for me. Like
Wow, no
I also
war.
love solitaire. Like I'm trying to be on my phone less, and so if I'm like having that itch, I'll just play solitaire. for a
Wow.
while.
Can I just briefly identify myself as an older person?
Okay.
This is the game Egyptian Rat Screw mean
Yes.
anything to
Oh
anybody?
yeah, I've heard of that.
Big
I
in-
never
big
played.
in my
Summer
schools.
Camp Egyptian Rat Screw champion.
Wow, we're gonna
In the
play, me
80s.
and you, after
no,
this.
I was killing it.
Next episode
I was
of Popcast is
annihilating
what
the
we're
older
gonna play.
kids. It was a great time in my life. Like one of my early highlights. It was a great moment. All right, 2 of sparkles.
Two of
Two of
sparkles.
I might just refer to them as sparkles from now on. Okay, this is a tough one. Some of these are light, some of these are hard. This is a tough one, I would say. What is the most difficult thing that's happened to you in your personal life that your career prevented you from dealing with properly?
Oh my god.
That's the deepest question.
And
in the
we've
whole
asked,
batch.
we've asked
Wow.
a couple people have pulled this. It's been quite revealing.
I've led a very charmed life. I haven't had anything really awful happen. I think this is like in no way woe is me, but I think I feel really sad that I didn't really have a childhood.
Well, that's
I mean,
basically huge and total.
Woe is me,
you were
it's
on
fine.
Disney. You were
It's
busy.
fine. I'm totally okay, but yeah, I was.
Yeah, that answer
Yeah.
is
That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Yeah. It's a little sad.
Is it a persistent kind of low grade, low hum?
Yeah.
It's something you think about a lot.
Yeah.
But not maybe at intense spikes, but it's kind of always hovering for you.
It reveals itself in certain certain ways
Types of
over time.
interactions,
Yeah,
types
and
of relationships.
it's just a push and pull. Like I live one of the most amazing life, and I get to travel the world and like have all these incredible experiences and talk to cool guys like you. But like I didn't ever. I wasn't in high school. I didn't have like a group of friends in high school.
I was just going to say,
you know,
was it tough to form friendships?
Super hard. And it is even hard, I think, for me. I have a wonderful group of friends now that I'm really like lucky and grateful for, but I do feel like I'm so ahead in certain areas of my life. And then maybe like in some like social areas, I'm like a little behind.
Yeah, sure.
Just because I'm a homeschooled only child. Like it was very lonely, like upbringing. And I think that's why I like wrote so many songs too, is it made me feel less alone.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it made me feel understood, and yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
No,
but,
no,
you know.
but it's also it's
fine
like
for it to
also
not
if
be.
it's not
Yeah.
even if it's not all good, it's great that you have the perspective. You know, it's not something you're going to wake up 10 years from now and be like, damn, I never thought about that. You're enacting
I
in
think
real
that
time.
actually leads me back to something I feel on this album, which is like you're clear-eyed about not being clear-eyed sometimes, and that's a cool place to be.
Yeah, clear-eyed
another
or not being
card.
clear-eyed. I like that.
Next album.
Okay. Okay. 9 of Clovers.
Again, amazing. I learn something every week on this show.
Clovers and sparkles.
Yeah,
Clovers and sparkles. What sparks your jealousy?
Oh my God.
You're pulling the hard ones.
I know. I mean, listen to the album. You'll see. I don't know. I mean, like, romantic jealousy is definitely a thing that I've talked about in like all 3 albums.
Yeah.
It definitely gets like less all-encompassing though as I get older.
What about non-romantic jealousy?
Yeah, like just a really nice bag or a pair of shoes.
Yeah,
or
or just like
you know?
interpersonal jealousy.
I mean,
you know?
I get jealous of people's songs all the time. Like not in a way where I'm like, oh, I don't like you, but like that's also a really great feeling to like hear someone's song and be like, God, I wish I wrote that.
For some people, jealousy is very animating. It's really a good motivator.
Really a great motivator. It's like an indicator that like this is what I want. This is what deep down I desire.
That's real spill.
Yeah.
That's real spill.
All right, pull another card. Maybe you'll get a less intense one.
You're really,
I know, my
you're
God.
Really,
it's the hard hitters.
All right.
Okay, Ace of Clovers again.
This is easier. What are you good at besides what you do for a living?
Oh, that's a good question. It's hard.
Cards, apparently.
Cards. I'm really
seriously.
good at cards.
You're the first person to say they have 4 decks on hand at all times.
Yeah, what else? Secret talent.
I'm really good at cards. I'm really good at yoga.
Okay.
I really got into it last tour because I was really stressed, and now I'm really good and I can like do tricks and stuff.
You like you Skytang, Adrian, like who's your
you got a person.
I do love yoga with Adrian. No,
you can do the thing where you like hold yourself on the hands and your legs are jutting out.
That's breakdancing.
I don't know. I've seen videos.
I can do. I don't know if I can do that quite yet.
Okay.
A girl can dream. A girl can dream.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I love that. What am I good at? You know, I think I'm a good friend.
Damn.
I think I'm a good friend.
Really just upended the question. You really,
good friend.
damn, you really just rewrote the question in real time. It's unbelievable.
It's like in a job interview when they're like, "What's your greatest weakness?" And you're like, "I work too hard."
I know.
Have you ever had a job interview?
No, I've never had like a regular job, which is sad.
You've had auditions.
Yeah, I just had auditions.
I think I'm a good friend. Wild. Incredible answer. I couldn't have even anticipated that pivot. Really good.
All right, 2 more cards and then we'll get the deranged snack combo.
Yeah, I'm so
cannot
excited.
believe
You
that.
want.
7 of Spades.
7 of Spades. It's a good one. You read your own DMs.
Do I read my own DMs?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
You go into the extra mailboxes? You go in the second and the third one? See what the action's
I'll go
like?
into like the verified.
But you do. You read it. You don't. The team's not. It's not outsourced to the team.
Yeah, no,
you have the
I read through my
password.
DMs.
You read your DMs.
Yeah.
You're a digital native.
Yeah. I was born in 2003. Like I know what's up. Yeah.
Do you find it to be overwhelming that people have that direct, especially, so much going on, people have direct access to you? Like, do you like ever brick your phone? Do you ever like put it under the couch and be like, not for 2 hours?
Yeah,
like, how do you think
I delete Instagram and TikTok off of my phone all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like never on
Same.
Twitter or like Reddit or any of that stuff. That's scary.
Sure.
But I just delete it all the time. But it's hard. It really is tough. The social media
real
thing
addiction.
It really is real. And it like fragments my days and fragments my attention span. And like it's really not good.
Yeah.
Only thing I'm addicted to.
Pull one more card.
Yay, okay. Finale. Okay, 10 of clovers.
All right. Is that a poker hand? Is that like
Not quite, right?
Okay. Okay. This is a good one. It's in between serious and light. When's the last time something did not go your way career-wise? And how did you cope with it?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, I don't like talking about when things don't go well. I like just glossing over and hoping that no one notices.
You can talk about the cope first.
You know, I've made so many mistakes or things I look back and I'm like, oh God, that was so not me, or like whatever. But I really do think, and I'm not even like having a cop-out answer, I think that when you look back at any artist's career, I think like the cream really rises to the top. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like all of my favorite artists have put out bad songs or like done things that are like not great or whatever, and sang a bad note or whatever. I think pound for pound, I'm like proud of my work. And so I think at the end of the day, that's hopefully what people will remember.
It's funny you say that, because sometimes I feel like when I get flack for being a critic and they're like, how could you say a negative thing about blank? And I say to them, I'm like, who's your favorite artist? And they'll say whoever it is. And I'm like, every song they've ever made is perfect?
Yeah,
no.
True.
Every song you liked as a 10-year-old you still love? No.
Right.
You have all these like touch points. Like, we're all critics. Everybody views the world that way. And so, yeah, I think that's the exact right way to think about this kind of thing. It's like...
And I think like my mistakes of the past have like led me to where I am now. And like nothing teaches you who you are better than doing something that's like, ooh, that felt really bad. You know what I mean? Like that really informs everything they do after that. And so I'm like, I'm happy to have made mistakes and like done things that are maybe cringe or made a song that wasn't that good. Like it happens, and it's all part of a cool life.
And you're less self-conscious about that stuff now than you might have been, sour era.
Yeah, I think also, I mean, my last 2 records, I was like, I made them when I was like 17 and 19. So I'm like, no, it's like, I did the best with what I could at the time and like with the people that I had around me at the time. And so, yeah, I don't know. I used to beat myself up over stuff a lot. Like I used to be really, really harsh. And like something I think shifted in me a little bit where I'm like, how awesome that I get to make music and like feel connected to other people and make music videos that I think are cool and like talk about things that are important to me. Like that's awesome. Like I think coming at that from a place of joy is just the only way you can really do it. Because it's like, it's awesome. Pop music is awesome.
It's a
awesome.
true, a genuine gift that animates our lives.
But on that note, like one thing I've always appreciated about you is that you've been so forthcoming about your influences and people who are your heroes and what you're trying to live up to. And not all artists are like that. Some people are very stingy with giving credit or citing influence. And I think you've remained open-hearted about that, but it's come back to bite you a couple times in terms of songwriting credits or album covers or people trying to call you out for borrowing or whatever it is, borrowing a little too much. How have you pushed through those what I assume were pretty hard times in your creative vision being called into question, and how do you remain open with what it is that inspires you when stuff like that has happened?
Yeah, I think it's a really hard time, like just personally. But I don't know. I'm a fangirl. I love music, and like nobody can like take that away. That sounds so cheesy, but like I love music, and I feel so lucky that I get to do what I do, and I like love so many songs, and I've grown up being surrounded with awesome music and awesome bands, and like I truly just do feel so lucky, and I love writing songs, and like that's just I would be writing songs if nobody listened and everyone hated it and everyone thought I was bad. I would still be writing songs because it's what I like love to do.
But I like that you call yourself a fangirl, because I feel like some artists, especially at your level, are ashamed to identify themselves that way.
You gotta be a fan. It's so boring to not be a fan of music. There's so much good music to be a fan of. Yeah.
And it's like, but you weave it into your songwriting, probably, just like the act of being enthusiastic about music is often in your songs a proxy for the act of being enthusiastic about a person, which is something. I mean, I think to Joe's point, like, I do think people wonder those things that were tough for you early in your career. did that leave a frost between you and other songwriters? Is there a frost between you and Taylor? Like, is that something that hovers over your mind? Is it something that you think is a construction of the people who are doing internet detective work? How do you view that now that you're a few years removed from the initial kind of like ruptures?
I don't know. I think I tried to not let it like get to me or upset me. I think I just try to keep it trucking. I think it was so long ago. I think there's no use in like harping on it. I just try to make songs that I love and try to be kind and good to other people and supportive of other people. And I've always like tried to be like that. And at the end of the day, I think that's all you can do.
And being supportive is like, again, I was looking at the opening act list for your tour and I was just like, this is like a very wide range of styles of artists, but also it's like you're identifying people who you want to take under your wing a little bit, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that sort of safe to say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like huge fans of all of the people that are opening for me. Yeah. I like, and friends too. And so, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could sit here and be like, yeah, give them advice and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like we're all just flying by the seat of our pants and all just like taking what comes when it comes. And I don't know. People always would ask me that. It was like, are you giving chapel advice? And like, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, like she's giving me advice. Like, it's like, we're all just like figuring it out as it comes.
We're all sitting in the chat being like, has this happened?
But it's cool that you've done that. I mean, to the fangirl thing, it's cool that you've done that backwards and forwards. You've taken the breeders out on the road. You know, you've put on your heroes and given them an entryway to a new audience, and you've done it with up and coming acts. So I feel like that's been an important
I mean, it's not calculated like, oh God, this is gonna look cool or something like that. I just like love all those bands and love all those artists, and I'm like so stoked that I get to be around them and hear them play.
The breeders thing definitely felt radical. I remember just when that announcement came out, I was just like, why don't more people do this? This is like such an obvious idea.
Yeah.
In terms of like
show your lineage. Yeah, exactly. Backwards and forward.
And you're presenting also, especially with you, with such a young and open-eared fan base. Like what you're saying to them is like, hey, if you like me, there's actually there's a whole universe behind me.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't do that because I think people are anxious. I truly think people are anxious that like
that's what I was getting at about hiding their influence.
Yeah, that they're going to show
too many of their cards.
Something to a fan, and they're going to be like, "Oh, actually, I like like
that better."
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why that people have very young artists opening for them. I mean, there's a bunch of business reasons, of course, as well. But like the idea that you, as an established performer, like what I would actually like to show you is something that was meaningful to me. And that actually makes the whole show kind of an Olivia show because you're like, this is Olivia.
This is what made me.
This is what made me. And then you get to listen to that, and then you get to listen to me, and you get to actually draw the lines. Totally. And I think more people should do that.
Totally.
Genuinely a smart and underutilized move.
Thanks.
No, for real.
Snack time?
This is
Are we all eating this?
Oh yeah.
We have to.
We are all eating this.
This is lunacy.
Every episode of Popcast ends with a snack. Olivia Rodrigo walked over to our snack table and picked these Hers Long Hots, sharp provolone. This is a Philly classic, got from Wawa last weekend. And then this leftover dip that I brought to our Super Bowl hang.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Wait, it's leftover?
Is that expired?
This is shelf stable.
Should it be in the fridge?
Should it be? Okay, I was like,
it came from the shelf. It came from the shelf.
Can you just look into it before you subject our guests to eating this?
Food poisoning
I know.
From Popcast.
I have to take a stand. I have to take a stand.
It's expired.
Can you smell it?
It's expired. We don't have to eat it.
Oh, is it actually?
It's expired.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure it's fine. I don't think this really goes bad. I don't believe in expiration dates, but I will not make you eat this.
I can't say I've ever had like dip on a shelf before.
See, I love a French onion dip in a can on the shelf. No refrigeration. That's like one of the greatest foods known to man. You would think so. They figured it out. Look, I don't ask questions. I'm not going to make you eat this. This is a Doritos Cool Ranch jalapeno flavored dip. It smells like it should, in my opinion.
Yeah, it smells like Taco Bell.
Smells like Taco Bell.
Oh my God.
It doesn't smell bad, but I'm not
like
going to make you. I'm not going to make you eat it. I'm not going to make either of you eat it. I might try it. If I end up in the hospital, you guys will send me flowers.
Honest with you, man. Like we should have
You're gonna have hives tomorrow.
I didn't
You're gonna
think
be editing this
that
episode,
anyone
like,
would
breaking
ever
out.
pick it. I was mostly there as a distraction, but you're a sicko.
Yeah, this is absolutely nuts that out of everything on the I've got Korean snacks, Japanese snacks, British snacks,
I got the Philly
German
stuff.
snacks, and you
This is the Flavored
Real
by
local
Philly
choice.
Crunch Off Champion Flavor Long Hots and Sharp Provolone.
Wow.
shout out
I'm
Chris
really
Ryan,
excited.
Yeah.
Philly King, shout out Zach Barron, Philly King,
Carrie Batten,
Carrie Batten,
Nick
Philly
Sylvester.
Queen, Nick
We got
Sylvester.
a lot of Philly in our lives.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid.
I'm really excited.
You did your best. Thank you for what you did to the Celtics.
Mike Schmidt, not our Mike Schmidt, a real Mike Schmidt. Sorry.
Oh, that's a great smell. That is a great smell. That's a
This is
hot
unlike
pepper.
anything I've ever tasted, to be honest. It almost tastes like a peanut. Like a peanut shell.
Oh wow. Oh, it's tart. It's tart. Interesting.
A lot of depth of flavor, and the spice comes all the way at the end.
This would be really good with a sub sandwich, though. I understand.
Wow, a cheesesteak and some of these long hots and sharp provolone flavored.
Cheesesteak, crunch them up, sprinkle them in the cheesesteak.
Okay.
I love these.
That's a little interesting, but
This is
A cheese and hot pepper flavored chip is straight out of my brain.
gotta make it happen.
You want some more?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, go in.
I do.
Really good. Too spicy for you, John?
No, it's actually quite right.
Are you anti-spice?
Yeah, I just have a very tender stomach, regrettably.
happens.
It's hitting in just the right way. Like it's just the right amount of like pepper or whatever it is right at the back. It's fine.
Guys,
it's not.
I've had such a good time with you.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
I'll miss you.
I'm gonna visit you in the
Oh
hospital.
my God.
I'll miss you. I'm going to try this dip.
Next episode of Popcast is bedside at the hospital.
Is it good?
Dog, you're wilding.
It's fresh.
You're actually wilding.
It's fresh.
That has been here for 4 months.
The entirety of podcast that sat there. That's amazing.
Say
I'm
your
gonna
fi-
live.
Do you have anything that you want to say to Joe before he goes away?
Yeah. Parting words.
Let's rank these chips. What do you got out of 10?
I'm coming back for more.
You're
Does
coming
that
back
say
from-
anything?
I feel like you're mixed in the facial reaction, but
Like,
you
I'm
keep
just so
coming
curious.
back.
I can't decide if I like it or not. I think that's why I keep coming back.
It's moving in a lot of directions
yeah,
at
I
once.
can't really place it.
But
It's
I
like
think
almost like
that's-
salad dressing tasting. It's
It-
spicy.
Right, but it's in sort of like in sequence.
Yeah.
You're like, it's kind of like mealy, and then it's like, oh, it's unctuous, and then you're like, oh, it's sharp, and then it kind
I
of
love a Hers
goes
chip
a lot of
in
places.
general, though. I feel like the Hers ridges
Yeah.
are really strong.
Yeah.
I've shouted out, I think, one of my favorite chips all time are the
Better than a
Hers-
Ruffle?
Hers ketchup.
Ooh.
Ketchup flavor is extremely
Okay.
good,
Really
very
good.
hard to find. But this is, I don't know. Wait, yeah, you go first.
I give it a hard 6.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
But it's like a 6. Like, is it a good 6? Like 6 trending upwards, or 6 kind of like I'm just trying to be nice? To
No, like solid 6.
solid, just living
Solid.
right there. Okay,
Yeah.
6. I'm gonna say it's an 8.
Wow.
Oh.
And I'm gonna say the only thing that's not working for me is, and I will say this is a Hers chip and maybe even a Lay's chip problem. To me, the kind of when you crunch it, the immediate mealiness of the potato, you feel it's like it has a thinness to it. It's not quite a full crunch.
You
It's
like a
not
kettle cook?
Yeah, I want something where I'm really like not fighting it, but there's a heft to it. And I feel like the Hers, like they dissipate extremely quickly once you start chewing them. And then all of a sudden you're just left with like a layer of spice. And so that's the only part that's not working. But it was an adventurous ride.
It was.
It really was like zigzag, left, right, up, down.
Yeah.
Like
It's a cool
admirable.
chip. I think
Shout
I'm-
out food science.
I think I'm a 7.5.
Okay.
I wish it was spicier. And I wish I
disagree.
had a sandwich.
I wish I had a sandwich. If it was a sandwich, it'd be a 9.
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
a great side.
Yeah.
It's
It
not
can't exist on
necessarily
its
a
own,
solo.
no.
Yeah.
For sure.
Olivia Rodrigo.
First of all, Olivia
Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for having me.
Olivia
you for
Rodrigo's
being
on
game.
Popcast. What a blessing. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
For months, years even, John has been saying, we'll see you next week. This time,
I mean it. Every episode of Popcast is at nytimes.com/popcast. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Follow us to the Olivia Rodrigo tour. We'll be back next week.